They climbed that mountain. And then they got changed into their wedding stuff on the top of Everest.
Oh, wow. Oh. Out of the helicopter. They're working that box. Do not climb that mountain. It's cold over there.
Okay, so let's get started. So, right now, where you're sitting, all the way around you is this big column of air. And this column of air goes all the way up to the stratosphere. And this column of air is full of molecules that are hitting on each other and hitting on you. And they're creating a pressure. And we refer to this as the atmospheric pressure. So if we were at sea level, the atmospheric pressure it is 760 millimeters of mercury. Okay? Now, how scientists figured this out is they used something called a barometer. So the very first scientist who did this, his name was Dr. Torricelli, and he came up with this really handy little device. And what you see here is at the bottom, this is like a little bowl, and this bowl is filled with liquid mercury. And then what he did is he made this really long glass test tube, and he put it into the liquid mercury upside down. And then the pressure from the atmosphere, from that column of air, pushes down on this liquid mercury and causes it to go up the test tube. And so you measure how high this column of mercury is up the test tube, and at atmosphere it's 760 millimeters high. So we call this 760 millimeters of mercury. Now if you were to take this barometer and put it on the top of Mount Everest, it wouldn't go so high. Because think about, if I'm standing at sea level, and let's say Loma Linda, for instance, is at sea level, the column of air is very big, and the pressure is 760 millimeters of mercury. But if I walk up Mount Everest, which is the highest point on the planet, 29,000 feet above sea level, watch what happens to the column of air. It gets much smaller. And when I measure with this barometer the pressure from that column of air on Mount Everest, it's only 153 millimeters of mercury. But here's the other interesting thing. Whether I measure the column of air at Loma Linda or here or on Mount Everest, it has the same percentage of gases. So 21% of that column of air is oxygen. Doesn't matter if it's at Mount Everest or in this classroom. And then about 78% is nitrogen. And around 1% is carbon dioxide. So this makes up 100% of our column of air. Now we know that, let's say at sea level, this column of air has a pressure of 760 millimeters of mercury. But what is the pressure of each of the different gases? So really easy to figure out. For oxygen, you just take the percent, 0.21, and multiply that by 760, and you get about 160 millimeters of mercury. Nitrogen, 0.78 times 760, and you get about 593 millimeters of mercury. And CO2, 0.1 times 760 would be about 7 millimeters of mercury, which add them all up and they come out to 760. So those are the pressures of each individual gas that makes up the entire column of air. So this is the total pressure. each of these is what we would call the partial pressure. So if I wanted to say the partial pressure of oxygen at sea level, I'd say it's 160. The partial pressure of CO2 at sea level is around 7. And we write it like this: PO2 or PCO2. This tells us the partial pressure of each of those. Now here's the weird thing. In the column of air at sea level, the percentages are the same, but obviously it's a heck of a lot easier to breathe at Loma Linda than it is to breathe on Mount Everest. And it doesn't have to do with the percentages, it has to do with the pressures. So if you were to measure the pressure, the partial pressure of oxygen on Mount Everest, you take 0.21 times 153 and you get 33 millimeters of mercury in comparison to 160 at sea level. You need a higher pressure, which is what we're going to talk about next, to be able to get that oxygen into the blood. When the pressure's really low, like 33, it's very difficult to move the oxygen into the bloodstream. It's all dependent on the pressure of the oxygen or the CO2 and not the percentages. The percentages are the same wherever you go, but the pressures change. Any questions about that? Okay. Okay, so we're going to start your essay. Now, you know, we talked about this yesterday, that heart rate is around 72 to 80 beats per minute, okay? But respiratory rate is a lot slower because when we breathe, we actually inhale and take a little bit of a rest, and then we exhale and take a little bit of a rest, so that we're breathing anywhere from between 12 to 18 breaths per minute. So whenever we're at rest, inhale rest or exhale rest, doesn't matter. The pressure inside our lungs, what we're going to call intrapulmonary pressure, is the same as whatever the pressure is in the atmosphere. So if I'm standing at Loma Linda and my lungs are at rest, the pressure inside is 760 millimeters of mercury. If I'm standing on Mount Everest, the pressure inside is around 153 millimeters of mercury. Okay? Doesn't matter. And again, inhale rest or exhale rest. It's always the same. Intrapulmonary pressure equals atmospheric pressure. Now what we're going to say is that our person, we're going to start out, our person has just exhaled and they're at rest, and we're just about ready to inhale, okay? So we just exhaled, we're at rest. Now while we're at rest, all kinds of biochemical reactions are going on in the body for those couple of seconds. So glycolysis, citric acid O2 levels are going down, CO2 levels are going up. Now we have specialized receptors that can monitor both O2 and CO2 levels. And these are chemoreceptors. Now the chemoreceptors that monitor CO2, they are found in the medulla oblongata of the brain. The receptors that monitor O2 levels, these are found in the aortic arch area, carotid arteries. Now, the central chemoreceptors in the medulla oblongata that are monitoring CO2 levels are always in charge. So if there's a difference of opinion on what we should be doing between the O2 and the CO2 levels, the central chemoreceptors for CO2 always win. Okay, they're always the one that's going to be in charge. So I'll give you a scenario. True story. So while working at Loma Linda, one of the things that I did was I performed what's called fetal surgery. And so what you have to do is you have to take this unborn fetus at around 5 months of gestation and remove it from mom while it's still attached to the umbilical cord so that you can do surgery on this fetus to make repairs on it, or there's no way it would survive, it wouldn't live. And at this point, the fetus is about maybe this big, and it's really cute. It's completely see-through. You can see through its skin, this little heart beating and everything. So these surgeries are about 12 hours long. And so before you do the surgery, you gotta have some donuts. Keeps you going. All good surgeons eat donuts. So we're standing around, we're eating donuts while everybody's getting the patient prepped. And along comes one of the head doctors at Loma Linda. And he says, I'd like you to meet my niece. And his niece is about 16. And he says, she wants to be a she wants to be a nurse someday. And I go, oh, that's very nice. How nice. Nice to meet you. And he goes, and she's going to be attending your surgery today. Great. So I'm busy eating donuts. So I sent her in with one of the scrub nurses to get her ready. And the nurse gets her all prepped and is putting her, sit over here, just wait as far in a corner as you could possibly get her. And the nurse has to go out and have a donut. Okay, it's only fair. And this young girl decides that she's going to start messing with things in the operating room while the anesthesiologist is doing something else. And she starts bagging the patient. She's giving the patient pure oxygen because she says, well, she thought the patient looked a little blue. Well, of course, all kinds of buzzers go off because the patient stops breathing. Now, my question for you is, why did our patient stop breathing? Simply because she gave her pure oxygen. You never, ever give your patient pure oxygen, ever. Why did she stop breathing? Something about chemoreceptors, yeah, but what about them? which means super low CO2. So how do we build CO2 up in a patient? Stop breathing. Exactly. So the central chemoreceptor said, we need more CO2, so stop breathing. And boy, did she stop breathing. 3 minutes, she's still not breathing. What do I do? What do I do? Because her O2 levels are so high, it's going to take probably 6 to 8 minutes for her to build up enough CO2 for the central chemoreceptors to turn on respiration. You can't wait that long, she's going to die. What do you do? Okay, there is never a CO2 tank in the OR. It just doesn't exist. So what do you do? And she's already intubated. How about give her mouth to mouth? You can. You hold your breath, you build up your CO2, and then you give her mouth to mouth. Would that work? Yeah, it did. It worked. Now the only thing is, it really is not fun to give mouth to mouth to a baboon. And that's who our pregnant patient was that day. And of course, I got to do that. Yeah, exactly. They got teeth like this, man, and their breath stinks. Oh, it's gross. We were just doing a trial surgery that day. So, anyway, so you can see how those O2 and CO2 receptors are going to respond if there's not the right proportion, okay? Okay, so once the chemoreceptors are stimulated, they're going to stimulate the respiratory center in the medulla oblongata. The job of the respiratory center is to then turn on the phrenic nerve. Now, if you remember from your anatomy in the cat, that phrenic nerve went to all the respiratory muscles, including the diaphragm. Okay? And so what the phrenic nerve is going to do is act like a motor neuron. It's going to stimulate those respiratory muscles to contract. So when the phrenic nerve stimulates these respiratory muscles to contract, our thoracic cage is then pulled out and up, and that bell-shaped diaphragm is going to contract down. Now remember, we talked about this already. The lungs are attached to the thoracic wall all the way around and to the diaphragm by the pleural membranes. So if the thoracic cage contracts out and the diaphragm contracts what will happen to the volume of the lungs? They get bigger, right? Because our thoracic cage is going out. Diaphragm is pulling down. So it's pulling the lungs out. Okay? So we're going to have an increase in intrapulmonary volume. Okay, so anytime you increase the volume of a container, you decrease the pressure inside. Okay, so let me say that again because this is important. Anytime you increase the volume of a container, you decrease the pressure inside. Okay, so let's say that I have a cage. Okay, and my cage is about 3 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. And I'm going to put into my cage 20 male cats. Are they going to be real happy? No. They don't like each other as it is, but I'm going to put them in this little tiny cage. They can't move. There are going to be some fights. But what if I take that cage and I expand it, and now my cage is 30 feet by 30 feet by 30 feet? What will happen to my cats? They move away from each other, don't they? And they become a little more happy. There isn't as much stress. There isn't as much pressure in my cage anymore, is there? Same thing happens with molecules of gas. If I have a small container, all those molecules of gas are squished together in that container, and they're bouncing off each other, they're bouncing off the walls, and the pressure's really high. But if I make that container much bigger, now they have room to move out. So they don't bounce off of each other as much, they don't bounce off the walls as much, which means the pressure goes down. So the bigger the container, the lower the pressure. The smaller the container, the higher the pressure. So when my thoracic cage goes out, my diaphragm goes down, my lungs get bigger. Pressure drops inside. Now it's going to drop around maybe 4 millimeters of mercury. So I've gone from a resting pressure of 760 now down to a pressure of 756. Okay, now gases move from high pressure to low pressure. It's really the same thing as saying high concentration to low concentration, but when you talk about a gas, you use the word pressure. So gases move from high pressure to low pressure. Now, when we inhale, typically we think that we're sucking in the air, but that's not really what's happening. What's happening is the pressure inside our lungs just went down, and the pressure in the atmosphere is now higher than the pressure in our lungs. So that this big column of air that's around us actually pushes the gas up our nose, down our throat, and into our lungs. It's literally being pushed into our lungs. Same thing happens when you turn on your vacuum cleaner at home. When you turn that vacuum cleaner on, the pressure inside your vacuum cleaner drops. Now the pressure in the atmosphere is higher than the pressure in your vacuum cleaner, and that column of air is pushing up into your vacuum cleaner. Now that little brush brings up the dirt, and to our lungs. So that air moves from high pressure to low pressure until we reach equilibrium. So that at the end of inhaling, you have two things. One, you just inhaled about 300 milliliters of air. And two, now that you're at rest, intrapulmonary pressure equals atmospheric pressure. Any questions? That's the end of inhaling. Okay, so again, we just inhaled and we're at rest. So intrapulmonary pressure equals atmospheric pressure. Now remember, we inhaled, so we added more air to the lungs. And in the lung tissue, there are specialized neurons called stretch receptors. So as that air is coming in, those neurons are picking up the stretch of the lungs and being stimulated. Okay, so once the lungs stretch with the air, the stretch receptors are going to send signals to the medulla oblongata and tell the medulla oblongata, okay, we're done. We just inhaled. Turn off that phrenic nerve. So the next thing we're going to see is all those respiratory muscles are going to relax. see if I can do this. Okay. So remember, I told you a little bit ago that the lungs have a lot of elastic connective tissue in them all around the alveoli. So it makes them very stretchy, kind of like this little slinky. So if my hands are the respiratory muscles, when my respiratory muscles contract, they stretch out my lungs. Okay? Now, if the respiratory muscles relax, they do not, okay? They do not push the lungs back to their normal, smaller size. That does not happen. Because to do that, to push it back, I'd have to have muscles contract and push. Instead, the muscles just relax. And when they relax, there's nothing pulling on the lungs anymore. So the elasticity of the lungs brings it back to its normal size. The respiratory muscles do not push it back. The respiratory muscles just kind of let go, and the lungs snap back and they bring the respiratory muscles with it. Okay? That's really important that you understand. Because what would happen if I had lung tissue that was all stretched out and it's not as elastic anymore? So if my respiratory muscles contracted, they'd stretch the lungs out really big. But if my respiratory muscles just relaxed, can't really pull the lungs all the way back to their smaller size anymore, could they? Because there's no elasticity left. This is also what happens in emphysema. With all that smoke and everything that a person inhales, they lose the elastic connective tissue in their lungs. And the lungs, they can stretch out, and they stretch out a lot. They get a lot bigger than normal, but they can't ever go back to their smaller size because the respiratory muscles don't push it back. The respiratory muscles just let go. And if it doesn't have elasticity, it can't go back to its smaller size. And we're going to see in a minute, that means people with emphysema also can't exhale. Some of them are so bad, if you put a match right in front of their lips, they can't blow it out because they don't have this elasticity anymore. We need the lungs to go back to their smaller size so we can create a lot of pressure inside. And the more pressure inside, then we can move gas from high pressure in the lungs out to the low pressure in the atmosphere so we can exhale. So you have an extra 300 milliliters of air in the lungs. And the lungs this elasticity, they snap back or they recoil back to their smaller size. Now you have more air inside and a smaller volume. So pressure inside is going to go up. And it's going to go up to about 764. Now, pressure in the lungs is higher than pressure in the atmosphere. So the gas will move from our lungs to the atmosphere and we'll exhale. So air is going to move high pressure to low, and we'll exhale about 300 milliliters. It goes up 4. No, it goes up 4 and it goes down 4. So when you inhale, it goes down 4 and then comes back to 760. When you exhale, it goes up 4 and then back to 760. So down 4, 760, up 4, 760. Okay, all right. So let's try a couple scenarios. Let's say that I have this special room, okay? And my room is special because inside this room, I can change the pressure in the atmosphere instantaneously. Okay, so I'm gonna pick a student, like, from a biology class over there, not ours, and we're gonna put them in this room. And we can watch them through our window. And we're gonna watch them inhale and exhale, and the pressure inside the room is 760. So they're inhaling and exhaling and inhaling and exhaling. And right before they inhale, I'm gonna change the pressure in the atmosphere to 756. What will happen? Look at your notes. So they're inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. And right before they inhale, just as they start to inhale, I instantly change the pressure in the atmosphere to 756. What happens? Air won't go in. Why? Right, because right before you inhale, what's the pressure in your lungs? 756. If the pressure in the atmosphere is 756 and the pressure in your lungs is 756, air can't move. It has to move from high pressure to low pressure. So the guy goes to inhale and nothing happens. Kind of freaky. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so he's inhaling and exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling. Now right before he inhales, or excuse me, right before he exhales, I'm going to change the pressure in the atmosphere again to 756. What will happen? Look at your notes. He'll take a bigger gasp because look, what's the pressure in his lungs? 764. And he's ready to exhale, so it's 756. So he'll exhale way more than he was supposed to because it's a much bigger pressure gradient. 764 756 to 764 to 756 versus 764 to 760. He's going to exhale much more than he thought he would. Probably 600 milliliters, not just 3. Okay, one more time. So he's inhaling, exhaling, and right before he inhales, I'm going to change the pressure in the atmosphere to 764. What will happen? Right before he inhales, I'm changing the pressure in the atmosphere to 764. What happens? Deeper breath. Because the pressure in his lungs is 756. And I made the pressure in the atmosphere 764. So much deeper breath than he wanted to take. Remember, it's all about air moves, high pressure to low pressure. That's what it's all about. High pressure to low. Okay. So it is 7:20.